couple of weeks ago, I basically had to bushwhack my way through this part of the yard just to get to the camera, which is set in the middle of the back of the property. But as you can see, the garden is no longer there and the saplings are all taken down. In fact, the whole backyard has been leveled. The yurt has been taken down along with the dirt hill. And there's still a lot more to be done. But despite the fact that there's been so much work taking place on the property, it hasn't stopped the wildlife from coming through. So my contractor has been out here working for the last couple of weeks, still doing things around the outside of the property. And one of the things he did was fell the trees that were behind the outhouse. I might be without an outhouse if this goes wrong. Fingers crossed he gets that tree down without taking out the outhouse. Well, the outhouse is gonna move. It ain't moved just yet. Yikes. That is some serious talent right there. He was able to get those trees down that were behind the outhouse and get them off to the side without taking the outhouse out with it. Oh my goodness. While the outhouse could get destroyed, I'm not ready for it just yet. So slow and steady won the race on that one. Yikes. My contractor's crew has been out here also bucking up the trees that I'm selling for firewood and for lumber. So that's going to help get these off of my property and help me make some additional money so that I can pay for the services that are being provided here on the property. One of the other things that I'm doing is selling the tanks. I'll be selling this diesel tank along with the oil tank. I don't really have a need for the diesel tank. I don't have any diesel equipment on the property right now, and I don't really know how good of condition that tank is in. But I need to replace my oil tank. Now I need to replace my oil tank for a couple of reasons. One is, as you can see, the stand itself definitely needs to be replaced. The tank is leaning severely, and because of its lean, the oil company is actually refusing to fill it. I'm having this tank replaced for a couple of other reasons. It's only a 300-gallon tank, and in the last couple of winters, I had it filled in the fall, and then a second time, about December, I've had the oil company come out to refill it. The problem is that they haven't been able to turn around on the property to get their truck out of here. I am having the driveway repaired so that it's wider, including the entire circle drive coming around the bunkhouse so that they can pull around. But in the event that I can't get a plow truck back here, because again, I don't have a plow on my vehicle, I'm just going to get a bigger tank. So I'm heading off into Anchorage today. My neighbor is taking me into town so that I can get a 500-gallon tank to replace this one. On our way into Anchorage, we stopped at the Long Rifle Lodge in Glacier View for lunch. And that's a wonderful stop along the Glen Highway. Across the road from it is the transfer station where I drop off my household garbage. But then the lodge itself is a wonderful place to stop. If you need fuel, they offer a fuel service there, lodging as the name suggests. But then there's also a wonderful restaurant, and it's filled with all sorts of taxidermy and antique knickknacks, but then that view out the back of the restaurant is absolutely breathtaking. They do have an outdoor patio that you can sit on as well, and it's under new ownership, I guess, and they're planning on staying open year-round, which is really cool. So if ever you're driving along the Glen Highway, you need a place to stop, I recommend that you give them a try. But now that I'm back on the property, let's talk about that oil tank. So I mentioned that I was going to be repairing the driveway and expanding that so that an oil tanker could come through here. But I also mentioned I don't have a plow truck, and in case I can't get plow service out here during any one of the upcoming winters, I need to make sure that I at least have enough oil storage capacity that I can heat the cabin all winter long. As you know, last winter I ran out of oil over Christmas weekend, and everything in the cabin froze. I don't want that to happen again, but I will be replacing my oil burner and getting one that's newer and more efficient. And I'm going to take the old oil burner and I'm going to put that in an upcoming greenhouse build. How that's going to be constructed is yet to be determined, but I need to heat it. Originally, I thought about putting a wood stove in there, but that means I need to get up at all hours of the night and stoke that wood stove to keep the greenhouse heated. What I'd rather do is just put that oil burner in there because it's got a thermostat in it. It'll never go below 50 degrees, and it'll keep the greenhouse warm during the shoulder months of spring and fall, where I either need to be starting seeds or extending the grow season. And speaking of the grow season, let's head up front and I want to show you how the garden's doing. As you can see, the garden is coming in quite nicely. But if I'd had a greenhouse already, I would be able to hopefully avoid some of the issues that I'm having right now. One is that I started my seeds a little bit too late in the season. And now that things are starting to warm up, my cabbages haven't finished growing yet and they're already bolting, meaning that they've gone to flower and soon will try to produce seed. I've trimmed back the flowers as best as I can. However, I think it may be a little bit too late and I may lose some of these cabbages. The sad part about it is that it's actually my storage cabbages that have gone to seed. The Italian cabbages have not, which is great, but the storage ones definitely did. And it looks like one of them has completely withered up and died now. I'm also seeing that on the radishes are going to seed, which is fine. I actually put the radishes in here specifically for that reason. Radishes are great at repelling insects, and so that's one of the reasons why I planted so many radishes. But if I'd planted them earlier, it also means I might have gotten some eating radishes out. While I mentioned that most of the things I'm planting in my garden are cool weather crops, not everything is. The squashes that I'm planting actually need warm weather. And I mentioned previously that I planted some ground cherries and they have not sprouted. What I'll be doing now is actually starting some cabbage seeds here in the next week. Hopefully get them to grow over the fall before the snow falls. So things are coming up here. Things do look okay. The peas are coming up, but again, I may not get quite a harvest out of these either. So those of you who are naysayers about the garden, it's hit and miss. Those of you who are on my side, I know you're going to tell me don't be discouraged, and I'm not. I'm just explaining the things that I could do better going forward. So one is starting my seeds earlier. Two is having a greenhouse, like I said, to allow me a place to start those seeds earlier on, make sure they're getting ample light and heat, and then also extend that growing season. So if you notice though, I'm standing outside right now and there are no mosquitoes around. But don't be fooled. The mosquitoes have been tremendously bad this season. You know, earlier on, I put out buckets with some mosquito dunks that kill off the mosquito larvae. And that, in retrospect, was an uphill battle. There's so much standing water around between the tall grasses that are growing, you know, in and amongst the trees and on my property, to all the small ponds and lakes that surround my property. There's just no getting around the mosquito larvae. So I did see that Southern Roots Alaska Branches had posted a video regarding a mosquito magnet, and I had thought about purchasing one after seeing his results. It killed thousands upon thousands of mosquitoes within a couple of hours. But when I read the reviews on Amazon, I decided I'm going to hold off a little bit because the reviews were hit and miss. A lot of them were saying there were issues with it turning on or staying powered on. And so instead, I've decided to use a thermocell, which I was able to pick up locally. And that is keeping the mosquitoes away while I'm out here working in the garden. So at least I have something that'll keep them from buzzing around me and keep them off of Kenai, because Kenai is a mosquito magnet himself. I feel so sorry for that poor puppy. I'm not sponsored by Thermocell directly, but I do have an Amazon affiliate link listed in the description box of this video where you can get a link to that if you want to purchase one, or the refills for yourself, or other things such as my outfit and what have you is all listed within that Amazon affiliate links in the description of this video. And while we're on the topic of mosquitoes, I also received another mosquito zapper from Mo and Lily. So thank you, Mo and Lily. I greatly appreciate that. But I also did receive some other gifts, so let's look at those and then we'll talk about some other things going on. I also want to say thank you to Joan for sending me this wonderful selection of herbs and spices from Penzeys. I think you figured out that I absolutely love the red pepper plant, and whether it's a spicy chili or it is a sweet and mild red pepper. Anything that's derived from it is one of my favorites. So thank you very much for that. And absolutely love the mustard seed as well. Also one of my favorite things. So thank you for all of these spices. And then I want to say thank you to Marnie for sending me some more security braces for the doors. I plan on putting these on all of the doors leading into the cabin, so that if a bear were to try to break through those, that he cannot. I will be eventually putting up security shutters on the outside of the large windows as well. This is just decorative, but eventually all the windows will have security on them as well. So thank you for giving me some more security braces for the doors, as well as this USB port. I definitely need that. I have so many little camera devices that need to be charged these days. So that's going to come in really handy, and love these books, because I do plan on planting some trees here on the property that are not necessarily what's native to this area. So fruit trees and some maybe flowering trees as well. So I really appreciate this. And then I want to say thank you to Stella for this amazing array of everything that you sent, from the Bath and Body items, the mug, and the snacks for Kenai and I, as well as things to keep us entertained. This is fantastic. So thank you, Stella. Thank you, Joan. Thank you, Marnie. And thank you, Mo and Lily. I appreciate all of you guys. I also want to say thank you to all of my new subscribers, as well as the new channel members, and as all the channel members that have stuck with me through all of this. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I'd also like to extend a thank you to Rob and Sarah over at the Curmudgeon Inn, Bill at Alaska's Last Frontier Homestead, and JR for helping to moderate my live streams. I didn't do a live stream last week due to the 4th of July holiday, but I'm actually putting the live streams on pause for a little bit. It's for two reasons. One of the reasons is that I have been listening to what you guys have been asking for, and there's a good portion of you that are asking me to do more videos, whether that's a secondary vlog for the week or it's a cooking video. I know that there are many of you out there that would love to see that. So that is something that I'm going to attempt to do for you, is to get you 2 videos a week. No promises that it'll be every week, but I do plan on attempting to do such. And then the other thing is that with it being summer, this summer is about to get really busy for me. So I, as you can see, am down to just the last little bit of wood here in my woodshed, and I have 12 cords of wood on order. And so that is going to be delivered here soon, and I'll be busy stacking that. And then in addition to that, I've got several visitors that are coming out to see me. One of my contractors is coming out to finish up some work on the cabin itself. I also have the electrician that needs to come out and run the power cable going between the main cabin and the bunkhouse. I have the work that needs to be done on the driveway. My friend is coming up from Colorado like she did last year. She's going to come up and stay a week with me. And then my son and daughter will be here for a period of time as well. So there is so much that's happening between now and, the middle of September, that I'm just going to have to put the live streams on hold for a bit. I do want to thank everybody who's been on those live streams. It means a lot to me. You guys have made those so much fun and enjoyable to do. And also you guys make doing these videos very enjoyable as well. So thank you for joining me today. I hope that you found this one enjoyable, and that you will leave a comment down below. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you hadn't. And I will see you again on the next one, which hopefully will be this weekend, but if not, it'll be next week. So thank you again. I hope everybody had a happy and safe 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to everybody. See you next time.